What's going on, everybody, and welcome back into Heated Shenanigans Podcast. And if you are a first-time watcher, listener, what have you, this is a podcast dedicated to professional wrestling from all eras, WCW, WWE, ECW, AEW, then now, together forever, we're here for it. And joining me on today's episode is one of the most beloved professional wrestlers of all time, one half of unquestionably the greatest female tag team of all time, LayCool. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Layla.
Hi. How you guys doing? How are you, Scott?
I'm doing fantastic. How have you been?
I've been great. I've been just enjoying a very quiet, simple life, and I've missed the wrestling life. So before I get to be about 60, I think it's best for me to, just revisit it.
Well, it's interesting that you say that because for those who don't know, we'll just say it here at the top here. Currently handling bookings for Layla. So shameless plug, if you're looking to book Layla, go ahead and reach out to me at scotthewlett44288@yahoo.com, and we'll get you hooked up with booking Layla for conventions, seminars, independent shows, what have you. But over the course of the time since we've announced you, the one thing a lot of people have texted me and like, man, you got to ask her. If you ever get her on the podcast, you got to ask her, when's she coming back? Does she have any interest in coming back?
Coming back to what? Full wrestling, to WWE full time, or
or just making a cameo like in WWE.
Honestly, prior, I think people have been very aware that I was like, absolutely not. I'm done. I'm retired. That was great. And I closed that part of my life away. But now I'm open to it. So if there is an invitation, I will definitely take that. And I would love to go back. Just even if it's one time, I would love to do it. So I am open to that now. I definitely am.
Well, there's this big event coming up here in February. I believe the start of February with the Royal Rumble. The women's have their own Royal Rumble.
Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? Yeah. Well, clearly I've never been in a Royal Rumble. I've been in many battle royals or bikini battle royals that, I was in for like 5 seconds. So yeah, it's amazing, of course. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I was invited prior. I think it was 2021 was the one that I was definitely like possibility that I was thinking about doing it, but then I just couldn't. So it didn't work out. So we'll see. You never know. I just don't want to break a hip, but you never.
Oh.
You never.
No, I mean, would you be open, like, if you were to come back, would you want to come back and do like a little bit of a singles run, or would you want to give what everybody's going to want as soon as they see you, and that is a LayCool reunion?
LayCool, I don't want it. Why would I want a singles run? No, I want to, if they ever give us that opportunity, yeah, I want to be there with my best friend. I want to be standing there next to Michelle. I'd love to just relive that moment, rekindle it, whether it's just, for fans out there who just would love to just see us together again, just for like 2 seconds, I would totally love to do that. And I think the fans deserve a LayCool reunion. I do.
Absolutely. I mean, have you, in the time you've been away from wrestling, have you looked back at how big of an impact the two of you had, not just in women's wrestling, but on the business as a whole?
Actually, no, I really haven't. I think I like I have a really hard time like appreciating or taking like credit or giving myself any kind of credit or giving like Michelle what we did any kind of credit, because I feel like the Diva era has been so like just treated so badly and discussed, and it's just like everyone's like that's the worst era. Like I've heard such horrible things about it that I kind of was like, oh, okay, yeah, kind of believe in it. But then it's like, no, it wasn't. We did everything we possibly could with what we were given. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, I do look back and go, wow, we were given 1 minute, okay, to get the match over for the fans, get the storyline over, get ourselves over, get the person and our opponent over. And not only that, get the fans to react and get who can do that in a minute? Like the girls, so I feel like the divas have not been given enough credit, to be honest with you, because the women now, and thank God, I'm so happy for them. You know what I mean? I've watched some of it and I'm just like, wow. Like, I'm so happy for them because they get that moment and tell that story and show their talent and show their capabilities. The divas, let's be realistic. We were, you know, they would cut the time off us. It was like you'd be in gorilla waiting and then you'd see like the other superstars and they'd be like, okay, I need this and this time, or they're out there wrestling, you know, and that's fine. That's how it goes. And we understood that. But then it's like, okay, girls, you got 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 1 minute, go home as you're going through the curtain kind of thing. So it's just like, so I do look back and think, yeah, we did do something amazing. We did. We really did. And we were given the opportunity, which is great. And we did. We really did. And I feel like, can you imagine if LayCool, like if Michelle and I were here now at the present with WWE as females and be the tag team women's champions? Like, I think then people would even look back and I think see the value of us even more. But we did what we did. That was our time. That was our era, you know?
Well, and to touch on that, you and Michelle, I feel looking back, were so ahead of your time for what you two were doing in WWE. There wasn't a big emphasis on individual women's wrestling, let alone tag team women's wrestling. Like now, women have their own tag team titles. There's now a new women's intercontinental title. There's a much larger emphasis on women's wrestling. If you could have shifted time in your career and been active now, who do you think would have been really good opponents for LayCool and present wrestling?
Chelsea Green. She's amazing. I really do. I think I'm a fan, huge fan of hers. I'm trying to think. I think anybody could have been a good. I think anybody would have been a great opponent for us because it was. I feel like LayCool, when we worked with everybody. We weren't just like thinking of ourselves. We did. We gave as much as we could. But who would be perfect for us? I don't know. Who do you think? I really don't watch as much, I'll be honest with you. So I don't want to say, oh, this and that. The reason I say Chelsea is because I've seen her stuff and I just find her very hilarious and comical. And her partner, Piper, oh my God, she's amazing. Is she from Scotland?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, she's amazing too. I think that they would be great. I really do. I think they would be great. I think that would be a pretty good match, I think, to watch. Do you not think so? Because it's comical at the same time. And it could be technical, but it could be also very entertaining. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know because I feel like some of the other people might be a little bit too serious for us. I don't know.
Well, I definitely feel that the four of you, Chelsea, Piper, you, and Michelle, would be a good mix. I do think with the right circumstance, I think Tiffany Stratton.
Oh my God, she's great. She's a star. No, I think I watched her I actually watched the Women's Rumble. I can't remember if it was this year. Was it this year or last year? This year, I think. I actually got to watch it and I legit was like, that's the next star. Like she is a star in the making, big time. Like her in-ring skills are just, and she looks amazing. Her gear is amazing. I think she's going to be a huge star. Yeah, I could see us working. I would love to. Yeah, amazing.
I think a lot of people would. I definitely want to talk about your break into WWE because you came in part of the Diva search, correct?
Yes, in 2006, yes.
Now, it's a lot more common now that guys getting into the business, not a big background in professional wrestling. You came from the dancing world, correct? With the Miami Heat?
Yep.
So,
yes, I'm sorry. Yeah. So, basically, I auditioned. I was a Miami Heat dancer at the time in 2006, and I entered a Diva search contest, and there was like thousands of girls. There was thousands, and totally didn't think I was going to win. You know, just was like, I'm just going to go for it, and it wasn't a wrestling background. I don't think any of the girls could wrestle. Maybe there was one or two that entered that were interested in actually or capable to wrestle at that time. And during that era, I guess, in that Diva search, look how many stars you've had. Look how many divas became actual stars on the roster. There's a Maurice, right? The Bella twins. Who Who else was in there? Why can't I think right now? Is it Maurice? He was in Rosa Mendez. That was it.
Candace?
Oh yeah, I'm just talking about my one. I'm sorry, but when you talk about the other ones, yeah, Candice, Maria, Michelle McCool. I can't think. There's so many women that did come from the Diva Search at that time, and it wasn't. I'll be honest with you, it was not the easiest transition. It was like you got there, and it was like I was definitely terrified. You know what I mean? I was extremely terrified because it was like, okay, well, you're gonna have to go out there and just wrestle. Thank God that I had my dancing background, that they put me on ECW with a, you know, an extreme expose. So I had that, thank God. But Ashley, oh, yeah, but Ashley, like when, oh my God, sorry, yeah. Yeah, but when Ashley was like, you know, because when I came in, Ashley actually was a very great mentor to me. She really did. She helped me out. She guided me. She gave me guidance and stuff. She had to wrestle. She was wrestling and with really no training at all, kind of thing. So she was wrestling, and she would get injured, you know, a lot. So it was harder for the Divas because the Diva Search girls, because the winners, they didn't want them to train because they were already on TV. They had to be at TV every week. But coming from the Diva Search area into a wrestling world, I totally understand it. I totally get it. Like, why would somebody be hired who can't wrestle to go wrestle with people who are amazing, the top of their league of wrestling, and then so it's frustrating for the other girls. Plus, the girls weren't given much either. Then here you go. Now you got to wrestle this girl who doesn't know how to do anything. Can't even take a bump. Doesn't even know. You know what I mean? So I felt bad. Like I felt bad for a lot of them. And like even one of my first matches was with Crystal Marshall. I love her, love her. But I remember we went out there. We had a feud, and this is how bad it was. This is how terrible I was. And I'm so embarrassed. I've never shared this before, but I have to share it. So the ref, like, I guess I forgot the match because I didn't remember where I was. I was just like all over the place, whatever. And then I thought, the ref said, go home. I didn't know what that meant. So I just laid there and got pinned. And I was supposed to get pinned. So that was going to be Crystal's first moment to use her finisher on TV on SmackDown, right? And I messed that up. So she gave me a hair bump and stay home. And he's like, her shoulder or something, the ref. You watch it back, you'll see. It was, so to me, I understand how frustrating it was for the other people, but I'm glad that I got in that way. I will always be grateful to the Diva Search, to the fans who voted me in, and I'm glad that I was given the opportunity to work and show that I do have respect for wrestling, and that, you know what, someone coming from the Diva Search can and is, and they've proven it. Look how many of the girls from the Diva Search have proven that they are capable of having careers and stuff like that. So it goes both ways. At the same time, of course, I'm selfish. I wanted to win. I wanted that money. I wanted to be on TV. I wanted to be famous. That was like my childhood dream. So it's like, you know, it goes both ways. It wasn't easy for them and it wasn't easy for us, but we made it work. We made it work. And that's what I can say about the Diva Search. The girls who wanted to stuck around and they made it work for themselves.
Now, coming in with the background from dancing, was there any of the other wrestlers, male, female, that kind of took exception, like maybe this isn't a good idea to go with somebody with no background?
Background with wrestling, you're saying, or background with? Of course, there were people that were saying that. But at the end of the day, that's what Vince wanted. That's you get what I'm saying? Like it doesn't matter. So it's like no matter what anybody says, Vince wanted that. That's what it's going to be. So of course, and I understand that because of the injuries, also the liability of injuring other people who, you know, that's their livelihood. We all want to make up money, and they want to project their careers. They want to get to the next level, and then they got to work with this. Like, so I totally understand it. But at the end of the day, I was given an opportunity, like many other people were given an opportunity, and I'm telling you, not many people would say no to the opportunities that the Diva Search girls were given, right?
100%. Now, when you won your first time becoming the women's champion, how did you find out, and what did that mean to you to get that accomplishment?
Oh, so for one, I never ever thought that I would ever like it was a dream of mine. I always dreamt about it, and I thought, yeah, I could do it. But then in the back of my head, I'm like, you're not gonna do it. There's no way. You ain't got a chance. But I was working with Michelle. It wasn't LayCool yet. I don't think yet. It wasn't. I'm not 100% sure. Was it late? No, it was LayCool because Vicky was with us. Yes, it was. It was LayCool because Vicky was with us, and I was doing the live events. I was doing most of the live events and stuff. So I was already on. I was already working and stuff, and the actual plan was to give the title to Vicky. Right, that was, so they're going to give the title to Vicky because Beth was injured, right? She got injured, so they're going to give the title to Vicky. So that the whole day, that's how we were planning it, and and then I'm just standing there by the ring. We got rehearsals or something's happening, and then Finley, who is LayCool, just for the record, without Fit is LayCool. I will always be grateful to Fit. I would never have a career without Fit, and I think most women, most divas, will totally say that he was the best thing that ever happened to the women's division, period. Like, so I was just standing there and he came by the ring and he goes, "Hey, so you're winning the title tonight." And I was like, "Oh, okay." Because he's always joking around. I was like, just sitting there. He goes, "No, legit, seriously, you're winning the title tonight." "Who, me?" "No." And I still didn't believe him. I thought he was just like messing with me. And then I guess we're going to do the rehearsal, and then he was our agent. So it was like, by the end, and I'm like thinking, we're going over the match and what we're going to do. And then I'm like, wait. And then he goes, "Okay. And then this and this, Michelle and Beth, you guys are both out. And then Layla, you'll win." And I was like, what? And then I didn't believe it till it happened. And even when it happened, I still didn't believe it. And I'm telling you, nobody thought I was ever going to win that title. Watch that match back. If you ever get to watch it, just watch the end. Just watch the end. And it was in Beth's hometown, right? So it was in Beth's hometown. And I remember it was like crickets. I could hear myself. Like, it was like nobody could believe it. But it was honestly one of the best moments in my career, because now I got the opportunity to shine. Because now it's like nobody expected it. No. Oh, okay. Now it's my, you know what I mean? Now it's my time. And I think it was the best thing that happened for our storyline, for LayCool, to move on to better things and that. And it gave me confidence too, that they have a little bit of faith in me. Maybe I can do this.
Now, when it came to LayCool, whose idea was that to pair you guys together on air? And was this something that you two thought had a lot of longevity to the tag team?
Okay, so there was no plan. I was never supposed to be with Michelle. It was never supposed to be a team. I think they were going to put Alicia Fox with Michelle. So Stephanie had an idea that she wanted to do a Mean Girl tag, like a Mean Girl team, and that's what she wanted to do. She wanted two girls, and I was not in discussion because I was with William Regal on Raw, and then I got drafted back to SmackDown, and Alicia and Michelle went out a couple of times, did some stuff together, and then they needed a filler. Like, they needed somebody to keep Melina and Mickie James. I think it was Mickie James the first one. Mickie James away from Michelle, so they could fight at the pay-per-view. And I was just a filler. That was it. And I think what happened was Michelle and I had such great chemistry, and it kept working, and it just got better and better and better, that I think at the end of the day, they were like, hey, it works. You know what I mean? Like, it's so crazy because Michelle and I are so opposite, but it worked. So there wasn't. And then after that, they just went with LayCool. We actually, CM Punk helped us make up the name. I'll be honest with that. Punk helped us make up the name backstage. But it just went, and then we just ran with it. It was so much fun. And Michelle was the one that would come up with a lot of the ideas. I'll be honest with you, she would write most of the stuff, the ideas and stuff like that. Like, she really is the brains behind LayCool. Like, legit. I would make the outfits at first. That's what I would do. and then it just, I don't know, it just worked. And then I remember when Michelle and I had matches together, I just always felt great with her. Like, I always felt comfortable, confident in myself. So I feel like it worked. That's all I can say. I keep repeating the same thing over and over again. It worked. That's it.
So, over your time in WWE, what would you say, well, in wrestling in general, what would you say is one lesson that you learned that you didn't expect to learn, and how did it change your career afterwards?
Ooh, that's a big question. I mean, I've learned so much from wrestling. Wow, let me see. Respect. Definitely respect. In the wrestling business, what I learned was You got to respect people. You really do. You have to be respectful and humble and appreciate where you are, because it will be taken away just like that. So I think that too. And I don't want to say politics, and because everyone always says politics, blah blah blah. No, I think it's how you treat people, how you respect people, how you navigate, how you handle situations in life is the way to go. And you think, oh, wrestling, TV, entertainment, oh, it's just gonna do it. No, you have to handle yourself in a way that's dignified. You have to be a businesswoman, and you just respect everyone and respect yourself, pretty much.
That's a great answer. And that's one of the things, like, there's so many different paths people go down in wrestling and learn from trial and error. Respect is one of the most common answers that I do get, which is good,
Yes.
which you need in professional wrestling. You can't be going in the back acting any certain type of way with people and expect to get a far and long career.
Absolutely. But you know what? It happens to everybody. It's so like it's kind of, when I look back at it, even at myself and my career, I look back and I'm like, whoa, like it happens, because how do you not get a little bit conceited sometimes, or a little bit big-headed when you are being praised literally everywhere you go? Then it becomes your own head. It's like becomes you're doing it. You're working 24/7. You like eat, breathe, wrestling, and that's all you do. And then it's like you kind of forget where you are sometimes. And I think it's happened to a lot of people. It's happened to me. I can be really honest. It happened to me. And I lost my identity at one point, for sure. I totally lost my identity. And it does happen. It happens. But if you have, and that's the one thing I would say, like, for me, I wish I would have had like a mentor the whole time who would call me out. You need somebody on your side with wrestling. That's one thing I've learned. You need somebody on your team who's going to tell you, no, that's not a good idea. You're acting conceited. Or no, hey, get you back down to reality. That's why they always say, keep people around you who are your family and your friends, because they're going to tell you the truth. Because that's what you need. Because otherwise you'll just be like, yeah, I'm this and I'm this and I'm that. And if some people are just like, yes, you. And when you're yes and not told the truth, you're going down the wrong road. That's how I look at it, for me, to be honest with you. That taught me a lot. Wrestling taught me that too.
That's an excellent answer. Before we wind down here, Layla, do you have anything that you want to share? Anything you got coming up? Anything you're working on you want your fans to know about?
Sure. So I will be out for appearances starting in 2025. I will also be around for podcasts, interviews. I'm working on a subscription online platform, so that will be out soon. I have some interviews too that will be coming out. So, but that will all be in January 2025. I don't want to give too much away. That's why I'm kind of like stumbling. But I will be around more. I will be seen more, and I will have I will be a big feature back on social media, because I've been away for such a long time, and I want to share some of my life with you guys, some of the stuff that I've been up to while I've been gone, and also some future projects that I'm working on right now, but I just don't want to say. I also have memorabilia too, and some gear that I'm going to be selling. So that too, if you guys do want to get that, there are some pieces, of course, I'm not going to sell that I'm keeping, but I do have stuff that if you do want, from the Diva Search, from Extreme Expose, from my whole career from the beginning, I have stuff that I will be selling and stuff. And I'll also be doing some charity work, which we're already starting on, right, Scott? And then I'll be working with Scott a lot, so please reach out to Scott. And that's it, I guess. Everyone, I want to wish you guys a happy Thanksgiving. And I don't know what else to say. It's been so long. I feel so out of place, like even talking on interview. I'm like looking at myself. I'm like, oh. So, please don't judge me. It's been a while.
Oh, no. And again, guys, I want to thank my guest, my friend Layla, for taking time from her schedule to join us for today's episode. It is the holiday season, and from all of us here, we hope you guys have a happy and safe Thanksgiving and holiday season. And that's going to do it for this episode of Heated Shenanigans Podcast. Guys, thank you so much for listening, and we will see you guys on the next episode.